Hello students, in this lecture on integration, we are going to begin with integration by parts. Now, with respect to u into v, suppose u and v are two functions. If you have to find the derivative of u into v, you can find it very easily because you know the product rule in differentiation, isn't it? Now, we are going to learn the product rule in the case of integration as well. It is stated as a theorem, that is, if u and v are functions of x, then the integral of u into v dx is given as u into the integral of v dx minus the integral of d dx of u into the integral of v dx the whole into dx. So this is the formula for finding the product integral of a product of two functions actually. Okay, looks to be quite a lot right now, but it will become easier as you solve sums using this rule. Now here, certain things you have to understand. Now we have to choose u and v in a very proper manner so that we can integrate properly. Such that u is a function which can be easily differentiated. So u is an easily differentiable function. So u can be easily differentiated. Okay. And similarly, v is a function whose integral is easily found out. So v is a function which can be conveniently integrated. So we have to keep this in mind while choosing which is u and which is v in the given formula u into v. Okay. Now to make it easier for us to choose properly u and v, we can remember a particular rule actually. We can remember this sort of acronym called as LAE, whereby we can choose the first function as that function which comes first in this word LAE, where L is a logarithmic function. L means logarithmic function. Let me write short as function. Similarly, A is an algebraic function. A stands for algebraic function. And E stands for exponential function. E stands for an exponential function. So whichever function comes first according to this particular LAE, you can take it as u. For example, let me give you an example over here. For example, suppose the function is x into log x log x dx. Now in this particular function, according to LAE, the logarithm comes first. So log x is taken as u, and x being an algebraic function, x is taken as v. Now I hope it is more clearer to you. It will become even more better to understand if we start solving sums using this particular formula. So let us go on to exercise 5.5. Now in exercise 5.5, the first sum itself is the integral of x into log x. So according to the rule LAE, log comes first. So log x becomes u for us. And x of course becomes v. Okay, x is v and log x is u. So in the solution, the integral can be written as integral of log x into x. And using the formula u into v, I'll state the formula at least for the first sum. You don't have to write the formula in the exam, just remember it. The formula is u into v dx. In fact, before starting with the sums, I would advise you all to take a few minutes, learn the formula by heart and then start the sums. So, the formula is integral of u into v dx is equal to u integral of v dx minus the integral of d dx of u into again integral of v dx and the integral of the whole thing, that is dx. This is the basic formula. So, integral of log x into x dx, that is this question. It can be written this way, that is log x integral of x dx minus the integral of d dx of log x, because log x is u if you remember, into again the integral of x dx and the whole into dx. Okay, well, writing it becomes a bit long, but once you understand it, you will know that it is easy enough to understand. Okay, now solving it, we get log x into, what is the integral of x? Yes, it is x square upon 2. So, the first part is already solved for you, log x into x square upon 2 minus, now what is the differentiation? See, in the integral sign, first of all d dx of log x we have to write. So, d dx of log x is 1 upon x, the differentiation of log x is 1 upon x, that you know already. Okay, and again the integral of x has come. So, the integral of x, this term, that is integral of x becomes x square upon 2. So, x square upon 2 dx. This way. Now, what remains is we just cancel this x and x square, one of the x goes away from the numerator, and then again the integral is not solved. The first term we write it because it is already solved. We can even write it this way. There is a proper method of writing, x square into log x upon 2 minus, now upon cancelling, 1 upon 2 we can take it outside. This 1 upon 2 which remains can be taken outside. So, 1 upon 2 the integral of x dx. Now, it has become simpler, isn't it? Now, until the integral sign goes away, until you get plus c, you have to keep on integrating. Okay, but then thankfully for this sum, we can solve it in the next step itself. So, this becomes x square log x upon 2 minus, now 1 upon 2 as it is, and x becomes, the integral of x becomes x square upon 2, and thus the sum gets over when we write plus c. The sum is over, but then it has to be simplified and written in a proper manner. So, we simplify it this way, that is it becomes x square into log x upon 2 minus x upon 4 plus c, x square upon 4 I mean plus c. So, this becomes the answer to the sum. So, since this is the first sum, you can do it very slowly. Open your notebooks and do the sums along with me so that you understand it as you are doing the sum itself. Now, one more sum I have given it to you which can be done same like the first sum, and I have provided you with the answer as well. Try it out in your notebook as assignment. In the second sum, the question is integral of x square e raised to 4x dx. Now, using the rule LAE, we observe that x square is an algebraic term and e raised to 4x is an exponential term, and therefore x square becomes u and e raised to 4x becomes v. So, using the formula, I hope you have learned the formula by heart. So, using the formula, we get over here, that is x square into the integral of e raised to 4x dx minus the integral of d dx of x square into the integral of e raised to 4x dx into dx, the whole into dx. Now upon writing this, going to the next step, we have the first term is solved here itself, that is x square into the integral of e raised to 4x becomes e raised to 4x upon 4 as you know by now, minus d dx of x square, this x square becomes 2x into integral of e raised to 4x becomes e raised to 4x upon 4. We cancel out this 2 and 4 and thus we can take 1 upon 2 outside the integral sign. So we get x square e raised to 4x upon 4 minus 1 upon 2 the integral of x into e raised to 4x dx. As you can see in the integral sign is not yet gone. So we have not yet got our answer. In the integral sign again there are two terms, x and e raised to 4x. So once again we have to use the formula for u into v. So thus we write the first term as it is minus, let the half remain as it is once again, and in the bracket we take u into v in the same way, that is x, the integral of e raised to 4x dx minus the integral of d dx of x into the integral of e raised to 4x dx, the whole into dx. The same formula, u into v formula is applied over here. So thus we get over here x square into e raised to 4x upon 4 as it is minus 1 upon 2 in the bracket. Now we get x into the integral of e raised to 4x is e raised to 4x upon 4 minus, now in the second integral sign d dx of x is 1 as you know, and integral of e raised to 4x becomes e raised to 4x upon 4. Then in the next step the integral sign is not yet gone. The first few terms are written as they are. And in the integral sign now it becomes this way, e raised to 4x upon 4 is already there into 4 upon solving the integral. Now we can put plus c because we have solved the integral over here. Now this is actually our answer, but we can simplify it even further by opening the bracket. So here we get upon opening the bracket and multiplying with half, we get x e raised to 4x upon 8 minus and minus becomes plus e raised to 4x upon 4 4s are 16 and 16 2s are 32 plus c. If you look at the answer which is given behind in the textbook, they have solved even further, one more step further, by taking e raised to 4x upon 4 term outside the bracket as common because it is there in all the three terms. So we take e raised to 4x upon 4 common and thus we get x square minus x upon 2 plus 1 upon 8 plus c, and this becomes our final answer. So this becomes our final answer. You can pause the video, study the sum properly and then go on to the next sum. Now in the next question, we have the integral of x square into e raised to x dx. Essentially, the sum can be done in the same manner as the second sum. However, I'll help you to do it. If you have understood how the second sum was done, you can do this sum along with me. As I am doing the sum, you can just explain to yourself the steps and do the sum. So obviously in the same way, e raised to 3x becomes v and x square becomes u. So we get x square the integral of e raised to 3x dx minus the integral of d dx of x square, and once again the integral of e raised to 3x dx the whole into dx. Then solving in the same way, the first term becomes x square into e raised to 3x upon 3 minus over here x square, the differentiation of x square is 2x into again e raised to 3x upon 3 dx. Now 2 upon 3 being constants can be removed outside from the second term. So we get x square. This term remains as it is. And we get 2 upon 3, that is minus 2 upon 3, the integral of x e raised to 3x dx. Again in the integral sign you see that u into v is there. Okay, two terms are there. So u into v. So we get x square e raised to 3x upon 3 minus 2 upon 3 taken common, and in the integral sign u into v gives us x into integral of e raised to 3x dx minus d dx of x, that is the integral of d dx of x into the integral of e raised to 3x dx the whole into dx, which becomes x square. The first terms are as they are, so I'm just writing them down. Now integral of e raised to 3x, we get e raised to 3x upon 3, the first integral over here, this term, that is so we get e raised to 3x upon 3 minus the d dx of x becomes 1, and once again e raised to 3x upon 3 in the integral sign we get. You know that one more step is there to complete the sum. So we get x square into e raised to 3x upon 3 minus 2 upon 3 taken common. Again here the first term is same, minus, now integral of e raised to 3x upon 3 becomes e raised to 3x upon 9. 3 into 3, that is 9 we can write over here, and then plus c. Now what you can do is you can open the brackets, simplify it further by taking the common terms, and then write your final answer. So you can complete the sum. Refer to the previous sum and you'll know how to complete the sum. This sum is similar to the second and the third sum. Just for your practice, you can try out this sum and check if you are getting the same answer or what. So you can do it as an assignment along with the other sums. Moving on to the fourth question. In the fourth question, the question is integral of x cube into e raised to x square dx. Okay. Now observe how to do this sum. Obviously, e raised to x square is there, so it becomes a substitution sum. We have to use substitution as well over here. So first of all, we modify the integral slightly by writing this way, that is integral of x cube can be written as x into x square and the remaining e raised to x square dx. Now here we substitute this way. We write let x square is equal to t. See, e raised to x square is given, so that x square is taken as t. The next step is of course differentiation. So upon differentiating, we get 2x dx is equal to dt or x dx is equal to dt by 2. Now if you observe the question once again, this term once again, you have x dx over here, isn't it? This term is x into dx. That x dx now can be substituted as dt by 2. The x square term which is given over here, this x square term becomes t and e raised to x square will become e raised to t. So thus our integral has been conveniently modified this way. Therefore our integral has become the integral of x square has become t. So t into e raised to x square has become e raised to t, and x dx, as you can see, it has become dt by 2. Now we remove that 1 upon 2 outside, dt by 2, from the dt by 2, 1 upon 2 is taken outside the integral, it being a constant. So we get over here like this, 1 upon 2, the integral of t e raised to t dt. Now of course we can use a product rule for integration, that is integrating by parts. E raised to t becomes v being an exponential function and t becomes u being an algebraic function. So u into v rule we are using over here. So keeping 1 upon 2 outside itself, we get t the integral of e raised to t dt minus the integral of d dt of t. Here we are integrating with respect to t, remember that. So d dt of t into the integral of e raised to t dt the whole into dt. Okay, then again we get t into, now the integral of e raised to t is e raised to t itself. So we get t into e raised to t minus the integral of, the derivative of t is 1. Over here the derivative of t is 1. So that goes away. Integral of e raised to t becomes e raised to t and again dt is present. Okay. Then in the next step, we get 1 upon 2. The first term remains as it is, that is it is actually t e raised to t minus, again we integrate e raised to t, which is actually e raised to t itself, and finally we get plus c. Now is the sum over with this? No, it is not over, because we have to resubstitute. We have taken t as x square as t in the sense. Okay. So we get 1 upon 2, we write 1 upon 2 into resubstituting x square into e raised to x square minus e raised to x square and plus c. Now e raised to x square can be taken outside the bracket as common, and thus we get the final answer as 1 upon 2 e raised to x square into x square minus 1 plus c. So this can be a final answer. Now those are the 4 sums from exercise 5.5 which deal with integration by parts as of now. Some more sums are there from miscellaneous exercise 5 on page number 137, okay, which also deal with integration by parts, or I'll explain to you as we go further with the sums. Okay, so first of all from miscellaneous exercise 5 on page number 137, question number 1, that is MCQ, choose the correct alternative. In that the third question, it is integral of x square into 3 raised to x cube dx. Okay, the integral of this term they have asked us. What is the answer for this term? Is equal to dash, and some options have been given. Let us first find the answer and then we'll see about the options which are given there. So obviously it has to be done by substitution, as you can see over here. So we write over here, let, now 3 raised to x cube is given to us. So we write over here, let x cube is equal to t. Upon differentiation, we get 3x square dx is equal to dt, and thus in the question there is x square dx term. Okay, as I've underlined, you must have seen it, it is x square dx term. So therefore we get x square dx is equal to dt by 3. X square dx becomes dt by 3. So our integral actually becomes this way. Our integral becomes I is equal to the integral of 3 raised to x cube becomes 3 raised to 3. 3 raised to t, I mean, because we have substituted now x cube as 3, x cube as t we have taken, and therefore, and the remaining term becomes dt by 3. So now you can see there is only one part, there are no two parts for integration. This can be easily solved by taking 1 upon 3 outside. And in the bracket we get, in the integral we get 3 raised to t dt, only one term. So this one term we can easily apply the formula for integration and solve it. So every sum which looks like u into v need not be u into v. We can simplify it in such a way that it has only one part, like we have done for this sum. Okay. So the answer for this becomes 1 upon 3. Now what is the integral for a raised to x? It is a raised to x upon log a. So the integral of 3 raised to t becomes 3 raised to t upon log 3. Okay, 3 raised to t upon log t, log 3 I mean. Now t was nothing but x cube. We have substituted x cube as 3, x cube as t. So as a result, we can resubstitute over here and get our answer. So we get over here 3 raised to x cube upon 3 log 3. This becomes the answer for fill in the blanks. Choose the correct alternative. You can just check out the answer from those which are given and choose the correct one. Now also on page number 138, question 3, that is true or false. State whether true or false. There are at least two questions which we can try it out over here. The second question from there, question 3, this is the second question. If the integral of x e raised to 2x dx is equal to e raised to 2x into fx plus c, where c is the constant of integration, then fx they have given it as 2x minus 1 upon 2. We have to state whether the given statement is true or false. Well, the only way to find out is by putting fx is equal to 2x minus 1. I mean, by solving the integral and observing it. By solving the integral and seeing whether the answer is what. So over here, we just start solving. That is x into e raised to 2x dx. And check whether we'll get fx as 2x minus 1 upon 2. Okay, so over here, x into e raised to 2x. By using the same formula, that is u into v formula for integration, we get x integral of e raised to 2x dx minus d dx of x into the integral of e raised to 2x dx into dx. Then we get x into e raised to 2x upon 2 minus, this becomes d dx of x is 1, and so we get e raised to 2x upon 2. Then as you know, in the next step we are going to get the first term as it is, correct, minus the next term becomes e raised to 2x upon 4 plus c. Okay, we integrate e raised to 2x once again, so you can imagine the answer. Okay, now upon taking e raised to 2x common outside the bracket, e raised to 2x is taken common. So we get over here x upon 2 minus 1 upon 4 plus c. Now, upon equalizing the denominator in the bracket, we are getting e raised to 2x into 2x minus 1 upon 4 plus c. So this is the final answer. Now comparing this with what they have given, they have stated that this bracket term, that is fx is equal to, see, this is of the similar form, no? E raised to 2x as they have given in the question. It is e raised to 2x into fx plus c, where they have said that the fx is coming as 2x minus 1 upon 2. Okay, they have stated this in the question. You can check out the question. But then we are getting 2x minus 1 upon 4 as the actual answer. That means whatever they have stated is false. So thus we get the answer for this as false over here. The third question, question 3, state true or false the third question again. If integral of x into fx dx is equal to fx upon 2, then fx is equal to e raised to x square. Again here the only way to find out is integrating this term, that is x into fx. Now fx is given as e raised to x square. So we can just check out whether upon putting this do we get the correct answer. So we put fx over here in the question as e raised to x square, and in this case we substitute in this way. It's a substitution sum. As you can see, e raised to x square can be substituted by writing let x square is equal to t, and therefore 2x dx becomes dt, or x dx. So this is x e raised to x square dx. So x dx becomes dt by 2. Then upon substitute, our integral becomes this way. I is equal to the integral of e raised to t, because e raised to x square, so e raised to t into dt by 2, which is 1 upon 2 the integral of e raised to t dt. Now as you can see, only one term is there in the integral. There is no u into v formula to be used over here. Only one term is there, e raised to t. And you know that the integral of e raised to t is e raised to t itself. So we get over here half e raised to t plus c as the answer. Again upon resubstituting, we are going to get e raised to, now t was nothing but x square. So e raised to x square upon 2 plus c. Now if we check the question once again, just go back to the question once again. If you check out the question is if fx is e raised to x square, okay, then in the answer we get fx upon 2 plus c. Okay, the answer is coming out as fx upon 2 plus c actually over here. Okay, and we did get the answer as e raised to x square upon 2 plus c, that is fx upon 2 plus c. That means whatever they have told us is true actually. So the statement is given answer is true. You can pause the video, go once again to the question and confirm and check whether you have understood or what. Okay, so we have done quite a few sums today. We stop over here the lecture. In the next lecture, we will continue with exercise 5.5 with some more concepts of theory. Okay, and we'll try to complete the exercise in the next lecture. So till then, do stay safe and healthy. Subscribe and like the channel. Share it with your friends. And also keep practicing. We'll meet in the next lecture.